I had this strong intuitive nudge to go on a trip into the mountains with my son. And this was a few years back when he was 10. And he was also getting that sense, just he and I, and into an area of the mountains that's pretty remote, and that my family had a cabin in for decades and decades, going back to my great grandparents. And so I was familiar with the area, and we went in late in the season into an area that's fairly close to timberline. And I wanted to take my son on this hike to an unmarked lake, kind of a secret lake that my dad had shared with me when I was a kid. And I'd only been a handful of times, and it had been quite a number of years since I'd gone the last time. So the landscape obviously had been growing and changing since then. And when we got up to the mountains, there was a snowstorm. We went prepared, of course. We had all the snow gear and everything, but I certainly had never hiked this in a foot of snow, much less with my little boy in tow. And we just kept feeling really guided to do this, both of us. And so I talked to the people at the cabins that we were staying at to make sure they knew where we were going, because there was no cell service and no one there. So if we weren't showing up, wanted to make sure somebody knew. So we left early in the morning, and we got a start, and we were traipsing through a foot of snow up this mountain, and I didn't recognize much because, of course, everything was covered in snow. And I started just getting so much doubt and just panic, just incredible panic about, oh my gosh, this is insane. This is absolutely stupid. And how could I do this as a responsible parent? We are in the middle of nowhere with no close help. And if one of us falls or something happens, like, all of the worries just kept coming and coming in droves. It makes me think of that lightning storm, Veronica. Anyway, my son, he was just super connected at that time, and he kept helping push us forward. And so we kept going and we kept going, little by little. And somehow my son would see these signs that would help guide us. And then, of course, I would have some intuitive nudges and certain things I might recognize, and we'd keep going. And he would say he'd see symbols of X's in the spots and the ways that we should be going. We kept going, and I'm pleading with God. I'm like, God, how can this be what we are supposed to be doing? Why are we doing this? This is irresponsible, and this is my son's life. And he said to me, he's my son too. And we kept going, and we kept going, and we pushed through, and it was strenuous, but the most amazing experience. And we got to the top of timberline, all of the snow, unmarked. The whole thing was so absolutely gorgeous and pristine, untouched, because very few people know about it. And it was just a huge reinforcement of what it is to surrender to God and to trust. And my son and I were both like bouncing off of each other, because he got to a point where he started really giving out. And it was like we were just kind of that juxtaposition to keep each other going. And we made it back down the hill, and it was beautiful. Anyway, I just was inspired to share that. Thanks for listening, you guys. Bye.